G'day guys. I've had a bit of fun this morning. I was setting up to my live videos and just making sure that my sound was working properly and all that kind of stuff. And then I decided, oh well, I'll delete that so it's just not sitting there. And I accidentally deleted all my live videos, every single one of them. So I'm down to this one being my first live video again. Isn't that awesome? How's it going, Victor? I was just saying I accidentally deleted all my live videos. So, stupid mistake. Which is not good when I haven't done a lot of I haven't done a heck of a lot of videos lately. So I'm just doing my, ouch. I'm just doing my third layer on my black, just my third highlight. On the, mainly on the hats. Yeah, I felt a bit stupid really. But it's not the first stupid thing I've done, and no doubt it won't be the last. Yeah, not too bad. And yourself? Yeah, I started these when did I start them? Maybe last Friday. Had a wee bit of fun with them. They're second-hand figures, and they had some paint on them when I got them, and I thought, oh yeah, it'd be fine. I'll just use Army Painter and do an undercoat over top, spray paint, and it reacted with the paint on about 10 of the figures. So I had to strip them back down and start again on those figures. So, but actually we're over here, aren't we? But they've come out pretty good. Quite pleased with them. So I wanted to get them done within a week. There's 32 figures plus obviously the artillery crew. The guns. So 32 crew and guns. That way. I wasn't going to do this third highlight, but then I thought, no, it will just make them pop a little bit better. Yeah, it just all bubbled up. I mean, like really, really badly. I've never seen anything like it, really. And there's actually one still in here. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you probably can't. His feet. I wonder if I can sharpen that up. That way. I don't know if you can see on like that foot there. Just see how it's really bubbled. And so the whole figure was just crazy bubbled up. It was just, yeah, I've never seen it before. And but luckily at my work, I've got some pretty nasty strippers that I use at work to clean the ink off the numbering machines that I use at my printing, where I print. And I drop them in there in the morning, and about an hour later, with a toothbrush, I just took off all the layers. It just comes straight off. So they were like new actually, which was really funny. But it's not a cheap stuff to use, so I wouldn't just go using it all the time. Yeah, they might have been. They didn't look like they were. They definitely had been painted a while ago, I think. Yeah, I thought I would be pretty safe, and it wasn't all the figures either. But happy with the way it's now I'm out of focus, aren't I? Yeah, happy with the way they've come out, and I'll be glad when they're done. So I did them as a trade. So So I get 150 front rank French in the trade, plus I think there was about 7 command Kev or officers. So, because I'm starting to collect my front rank French army, so the whole army is going to be front rank. I'm not going to collect anything else. Yeah, so they're starting to get done. I've always traded, always. Even when I was at high school, I would trade. I remember once I set up a trade with a guy that was around the corner of a building, and I was trading with a guy around the other side. So once I'd finished getting the stuff off him, I just walked around the corner and sold it for twice as much. So it has its good and bad things. I have this tendency that I trade and sell things that I forget that I actually want. That's all right. All works out in the end. What have you been up to lately, mate? Keeping yourself busy? I suppose it's summer over your way. So once I've done these, I'm just not sure if I'm going to finish my Greeks off that I'm working on, or whether I'll go straight on to another wee job. I haven't decided. Calendar says it's summer. Just working. Cool. Yeah, it's always the way. We're officially into winter now. So I'm sitting out here in my little back room. It's actually freezing. I should probably have the heater on. But I'm actually considering going out and washing the car. It's probably the last chance I'll get. After that, if I wash the car, the water will freeze on the ground. I did that one year, a little bit late, and the neighbours weren't very happy. Ice everywhere. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, mate? Good to have you on board. Right, let's paint some, finish off the hair. It's quite nice when you get near. Probably need to, where am I? I'm painting here most of the time, aren't I? So we need to go that way. I just need to lift them up a bit. It's quite nice when you get near the end of a bunch of figures. You can see all the detail, you know, when you put those last little bits in. It's quite cool. That's why I love painting so much. Oh, I don't know what happened. All the chat just went. Like, oh, it's back. Ah, the old unboxing. Yes, I must admit, it's quite nice. I just went and got a box from the courier this morning, but there's no soldiers in it. Just a whole pile of paints. But it's paints that I haven't had before, like different colors. So I'm going to try some new color variations. And I've got some British 15mm that I'm going to be painting. I've got 4, what do you call, battalions coming, and I want to make sure I get the colors right. So And of course I needed to restock some paints, because when you're painting as much as I do, there's always paints running out. Oh, I love front rank. If I had a choice, I would only have front rank as my my figures. They're beautiful figures. They're smooth as well, so the detail is quite smooth. So your brushes don't wear out because there's no real jagged edges to catch on your brushes. The detail is very easy to paint. They almost paint themselves. Yeah, they're probably a little bit bigger, but they are just, I think they're gorgeous figures. So I've always wanted to. I did have quite a few of them at one stage in an army that was a mix of plastic and metal, and I had always decided that at some stage I would do a complete army that's just for me. Finish them dead. I mean, they're not cheap, but what I find is not cheap about them is the actual the postage. The postage to New Zealand is about 30% of the price. So when you're paying, I don't know, $800 or $900 for an army, or for part of an army, and you pay a third of that again in postage, it's pretty hefty. But yeah, they're really, really nice. Yeah, I know. Australia and New Zealand, we have the same thing. We just happen to be on the wrong side of the world when it comes to postage. But you must admit, one day when someone decides to drop a bomb on the other side of the world, we'll be happy that we live over here. That's pretty gloomy, eh? Blonde. On these guys, I'm just doing two lots of hair, brown and blonde. Just decided not to do black hair on this lot. So that's blonde. I must have just about done all the black. The brown. Okay, so the brown guys are done. I'm going to stop that and I'm going to start working on artillery. So here's one pretty much completed. If I come up to there, it's going to be a bit sharper. So, yeah. And that's one with its first color of green black. So it's Russian green, Russian uniform green, and black mixed. I think about 40% black mixed into it. And then the next part is going to be just straight Russian. And then the next one after that, I think it's about 25% Japanese uniform mixed into the Russian. So for the final highlight. I'm just noticing I just squeezed out the paint for the it's very thick. So I'll just add a bit more water to it. I just don't know how. If we go that way, and maybe just pull out a smidge. Yep. So the barrel, the barrel's not finished. So I've painted the barrel first with P3 bronze, and then I highlight that with a dry brush of Citadel gold. It's a layer paint, and I don't know what that word is. Starts with G. And then I've done a wash. At the moment, that's got a wash on it of I think it's null oil. Not sure, but I think it's null oil. Then it's got another dry brush of the gold, very light. And then I'm going to do another wash of Agrax over top, so which is slightly browner. But I wanted to do the black wash in there first, just to darken that barrel up a little bit. But yeah, metallics. So I kind of do my brass on my my Greeks the same way. Right, we're going to start here. It's a bit. I've got the light in the wrong place for properly doing this. So doing thicker lines. I don't even know if I've thinned it down enough on that. You're going to do your highlight inside those lines. It's not really thin enough yet. I mean, you don't have to do that many goes through it. I mean, you could just miss out the black if you wanted to and go straight to the Agrax, but I wanted the barrels to be a little bit darker. So yeah, they've got another couple of layers to go on them yet to finish off. And I was really happy with the trades, you know, so I want to do a great job in return. So at the moment I've started building up my ACWs, late ACW figures, and the French. So that's mainly what I'm collecting at the moment and buying and swapping with people. So I've had a few blisters turn up, which is cool. Had a guy from Auckland up north send me a box of figures, but I'd said to him, I don't think those are front rank. And when they arrived, they were minifigs actually, and they're like, it's like David and Goliath. They're tiny. So sadly, even though there were quite a few of them, they are of no use to me. Is anything interesting happening out there, guys? Where you guys are? Any, any painting going on? Scale creep with buildings. I bought a few different buildings from different places, and I got to admit, even though some of them are really nice buildings in themselves, I've decided to just give them to the club, some of them, because I'm just not happy with the scale. Actually, the funny thing is that one of them, the scale's correct, but when you put it on the table, they're actually they take up too much room. The old 10 mil. I tell you, a 10 mil, I just don't have it in me to be painting 10 mil. So, yeah. You're a bigger man than I am when it comes to that kind of stuff. I only once ever painted 10 mil. I painted some 10 mil Russians, and I hadn't even finished them, and a guy in America wanted to trade those plus some AB French that I had for 28mm Romans. So I never even finished the job. It's probably pretty boring for you guys to watch. There's no kind of detail not showing it, is there? Sorry about that, but I want to get these finished today. 580. Woo-hoo. So how long have you been working on that? Since June last. Oh, far out. That's decent. Ah, you're at work. Good on you. Namibian horse Victrix and Union. I've actually got Namibian horse Victrix guys to paint. They turned up about a month ago for a guy, and I must admit I put him aside and I forgot all about him. So once I finish the Vikings, I think I'll have to go back and actually finish those. And I've got the new Greek light cavalry coming from Victrix. So I'm going to do a video on how to paint it, probably an unboxing video, then a how to paint video, a finished based video, because Victrix have said they'll be quite happy for me to do a review on them. And when you go online, there's nothing much showing on the. I mean, there's only probably the previews of the miniatures themselves unpainted. There's not much there. Yeah, there's not a heck of a lot to the Namibians. There's probably not a heck of a lot to the Greek cav either. I actually need to reread what the guy asked for. I don't think he wanted them in like a too dark a flesh, the guys. So I might just do what kind? Maybe a bilge brown as a first base, just to brown them up a little bit. Then I might mix that into my normal flesh that I use, and then my second layer, what I would normally use, I'll probably use as my last layer, so they're not quite as pinky, not too dark brown. Right, so that is the first coat. So you can see, if I bring that one back, you should be able to see the difference between that and that. If I can sharpen it. Yeah, so it's just a bit brighter on it than that. So 4 done and 3 to go. Or 4 finished. 1 to that stage that I just did. And this is the next one. Sorry this isn't too exciting for you. As I said, I was a bit bummed this morning when I accidentally deleted all my videos, all my live videos, because I hopped on and I was testing the sound, making sure everything was right, because I've done a couple of things where the sound hasn't worked, so I thought I'd just do a test. And then I decided as an action to get rid of that video, and I accidentally deleted the whole lot. No, I've everything's pretty much pre-planned. I mean, I've done with, especially with Napoleonics, I've done so much stuff. With the Namibians, I will do a test. I haven't done pretty much any brown, other than my Egyptians, any brown skin at all. So that will be. I mean, you can't, when you paint for other people, you can't really do it on the fly. You've got to do tests, and then you've actually got to show them to make sure that they're happy with what you've come up with. With my own stuff, yeah, I do a lot of, like all those Greeks, the colors and stuff. I've done a lot of that on the fly. But yeah, when I'm painting for other people, no, I never. It's all pre-planned, all worked out, all written down in a book for just in case they reorder, and they could reorder years later and want the same colors. And if you don't plan those out, you get stuck later. You can get really caught out. I've been caught out once where I think it was about 6 months later, I got another box of exactly the same figures. And I thought there was no way he was going to get more. So I hadn't written down my color choices, and I'd done lots of mixes. I try not to mix too many paints. I try to use the basics and just layer in my color. But I got a new Painting War magazine, and well, I've actually got 4 of them now. And in those, there's a lot of mixing in percentages of colors. And so, I mean, what I'm doing here is out of that book. Just trying to try something different. I suppose in a way, there's always variations and uniforms and everything, so you can always get away with a little bit. Yep, I'll just thinking what I'm doing next weekend. I could probably just use a figure. I'll grab a figure that I don't want, and we can do some tests maybe on it. Yeah, I mean, you could use flat earth maybe as a base coat, and then I would just do flesh base as the next, but maybe. I mean, maybe a 50-50 of the flesh base and the either the flat earth or the bilge brown, whichever one you choose, and then use the flesh base as the final coat instead of the second coat, as I was saying. And I think that should be enough. Not sure, but we'll find out. Depends how brown you're actually wanting to go. I've actually got to do a Indian officer. I think he's from 1867. So I've just received a model from a guy, and the guy's been quite helpful to me. So I just said I'd do it as a freebie. He gave some of the first miniatures to give away, all the Flames of War stuff. He gave those to me, so I just said, "Oh, look, I'll just do it for free. You've been really cool." Friend helping a friend. That reminds me, I haven't done any giveaways in a wee while, have I, guys? Problem is, I'm so busy with work, painting work, that I haven't had time to actually paint anything else. I might have to have a wee look through, See what I can find. It's like I haven't done Prussians before, and I've got some Prussians coming too, so I'm going to have to learn how to do Prussians. And there's even though there's the odd video on YouTube, there's not a heck of a lot on actually how to get the colours right. When you haven't painted something, even if you do lots of painting like myself, even if you haven't painted something before, there's always that, like, okay, so how do I get those colours correct? Yeah, so we've got 28mm Prussians in the pipeline. We've got 15mm Napoleonic British coming up. We've got Namibians. I've got a pile of Dark Age figures that will need painting. And one day, maybe one day, I might even paint some of my own stuff. More blue. Yes, more blue. What? Paint my own stuff? I did a count and I'm down to 53 boxes of figures sitting beside me. Probably about the same in blisters of my stuff that I've not touched. Let alone all the loose figures that I'm trading. If you're out there and you've got Front Rank French or Foundry ACW, you should give me a call, even though you don't have my phone number, because that's what I want to collect. I do have a PayPal account, and I can send money your way. The problem is it's shipping. Shipping to New Zealand, as we just discussed before, it's a pain in the butt. I sent a box of figures to Canada as a trade. It cost me $158 in the box. It's like, what the heck? And hopefully in a few days' time, I've got 10 regiments of American Civil War turning up. Got 3 of those regiments are Foundry figures. The rest of them, I think, are Perry mix, maybe mostly Perry plastics. I have a strange feeling that is that black? Did I miss painting that wheel? No, I don't think I did. It is just very dark green. So in your comments, guys, say if you're watching this later and there's something you'd like to see me do or try, please leave the comment, and I do read them, and I will try and help out. That's kind of part of what I'm trying to do with this this channel, is just to help the community. I mean, it's fun for me as well, I must admit. I enjoy sitting here painting all the time, so I do paint all the time. I was painting here last night as well. So I'm getting away from my wife. watching TV. MKR, my kitchen rules. My paintbrush rules. Until she sees this video and then she'll chop me up into little bits. So as I said earlier, with the layer that I'm doing now, I'm just doing kind of biggish stripes. It's not like really the fine detail part yet in the wood grain. So and then I mix about 25% Japanese uniform into this Russian uniform and do the next highlight, and then I have to be a bit more careful. Yeah, I know shipping's the killer, eh? And I think that's why Warlord Games have done quite well, is that, you know, if you buy enough, you don't have to worry about shipping. I think that's also why a lot of local hobby shops have gone under, is because, you know, you don't have to pay shipping. Even though our country is just introducing GST to online stuff, so that's going to change the price again. Yippee. Things will go up by 15%. Right, one more to go. Foundry, a little bit smaller than Perry, I think, but not by much. And I'm thinking I will keep them in their own regiments. So the Foundry figures will be in a regiment with Foundry figures. I won't actually mix them. Not unless I look at them and go, well, actually, it doesn't matter. If I do that, then, well, we'll see. I did have an American Civil War Union Army that I painted up. It's one of my earlier videos, and they were Perry and Sash and Saber, and they mixed together really well. And I had Sash and Saber casualties. So Sash and Saber makes some nice figures as well. It's just ones, I think ones like Essex and like the old minifigs and things like that, you've got to be careful with. They just don't mix. They don't mix in very well. At some stage I need to build an army to fight my Egyptian army that I've done. It's actually why I started on YouTube, was painting my Egyptian army. I couldn't find anything on how to paint the Egyptians. I was looking for stuff on how to paint their skin. So instead of looking, I actually did videos on how I painted the skin. I must admit, they came out really good, but they haven't had many views really, which is surprising. Maybe not many people do Egyptians. I tell you, it's getting colder. Don't think I'll be going out there washing that car. G'day, David. Yeah, well, if you go back and look for the other videos, I accidentally deleted them all this morning. By accident. They're all gone. All the live videos. Nice to have you on board, mate. Just doing the second coat, second highlight of wood grain on these French guns, even though they're not going to be for the French, they're for Westphalians. And so when you do Westphalian artillery, you've actually got a choice of giving them French guns or Austrian guns, because the Westphalians had a lot of guns that were taken off the Austrians, as I've just found out not long ago. But I decided that I would give them French guns. So what I'll do is I won't torture you with the next highlight. I'll do something different. So what paints do you guys mainly use? I mainly use Villaggio. Folding laundry. Waiting for dinner, eh? What's the time here? Time. It's 11:34 in the morning here. Much hobbling at the moment. You use Villaggio. Napoleonic reenactment in your town, David. Ah. Games Workshop. I have probably about 60 or 70 Games Workshop paints here, but I must admit, out of those, I probably really only use about 5 or 6 consistently. And that's because I do like the Villaggio paints. I use P3 paints for a couple of colors, mainly my bronze. "95 degrees. I hate to think what it is. Actually, I can probably tell you what it is in my wee room here. It's probably not that cold. It's probably just because I'm not really moving much. So the temperature here is, if I can find the weather. Five degrees Celsius. It's 5 degrees here. So it's not too bad. Could be colder. I think it's supposed to start snowing on the hills again in the next couple of days. Right, what are we going to do now, guys? I will finish off the blonde here, I think. So let's chip something in there while we're doing that. Oh, drop my paintbrush. And I need some dark scene. And I need a new tray. So, woohoo, get in the fridge again. There we go. Bit of blonde hair needed. See you later, David. I just ordered my first set of Villaggio Soviet Union paint set. Oh, okay, cool. I keep looking at the different sets. And I always think, oh, I've got a heap of like certain colors, and so I never end up buying the sets. I did buy like a proper 48 box set. Okay, so just a little bit of hair around the rim there, and he's got his hair done. So I've moved, and now I'm finding it hard to get the right place in the camera. Just get rid of a little bit of paint. So this is for blonde hair. I use English uniform as the first coat, and I need to put a little bit of water in there because that is too thick. Hard to get right. And then I'm using dark sand as the next highlight. If you want to, after you've done the dark sand, you can use Citadel Agrax wash over it, and then do the dark sand highlight again, and that will give you more depth to it. So the reason I do this, I used to do like a more of a yellowy here, and I decided it's not realistic. So if you go way back on some of my things, they'll have it's more yellow. I can't remember what paint I used to use. I think it was that one there. It's just too yellow, and so with the English uniform, it just gives a nicer finish. And if they got mustaches, they look really quite nice. 13 degrees Celsius your way. It's been nice and chilly the last few weeks leading into winter. Winter's only just starting. So I think most of these figures might be Perry. Looking at these. As I said, these turned up last week, and I just wanted to get them painted and done. So I wanted to say, like, sorry that I haven't actually done a lot of videos lately. Life has been getting in the way. My parents haven't been in the best of health, so just been spending a bit more time with them. I went and visited them nice and early this morning. So I used to like when it came to here, I used to always be in a hurry with hair, and so I always used to run a dry brush pretty much over the hair, like a dark base coat, then a dry brush, done. Hair's done. But I try to actually paint the detail that they've got in there now. Obviously, it just takes a little bit longer, but you definitely get a better finish. And if you're actually putting your time into painting something, you might as well finish it off. And when you're painting up near the top, like obviously the face here, those are actually the things that people really notice. So you might as well make a top-notch job of it, eh? What? Right, excuse me, I've got to reach across the camera and get white from over that side, because I did notice that there was a couple of bits of white that I have missed. So, or I just haven't painted it quite good enough. And normally on the sword, this bit here would be white, but on these guys, it's red. But they're definitely starting to come along. That bit's white though. Okay, so we're just doing like a bit of a check. Yeah. Tidying up any, oh, that was close. Any missed bits. I know there was one figure and I've even missed its undercoat, so there'll be a little bit of work on the white on that one. Here's the guy. Still got the sky grey undercoat. A bit of a bummer to slip on this one. Live online. But we haven't. Okay. He's all good. He's good. Do the rope on that guy. Put it on the side. I slipped on this one, so let's just touch that up. So I painted the white in, and then I painted the brown strap in. And on the odd one, I have actually noticed when I've done the brown, I've slipped a little. That's all right, because you just tidy it up when you come back around. So there's 32 figures or crew here at the moment. What camera setup do I have? I have a Canon EOS 750D, and I've got that plugged into my laptop using an Elgato Camlink. So what the Camlink does is it makes the camera, makes the computer see the camera as like a, what do you call it? Like a webcam. So then it recognizes it that way. So and I have a at the moment the lens on it is an 18 to 135mm lens. Now it's not a cheap way of setting yourself up to do video, but it also takes amazing photographs, and that's what I was going for as well. I really wanted to be able to take nice photographs of the miniatures, because one of my aims is to be able to paint and have the photographs used by actual companies, like miniature companies. I mean, I don't think I'm probably quite good enough yet, but we're getting there. And being able to take the better photographs has definitely highlighted some of my work to them. So now I'm actually of slight interest to them, where I wasn't before. Yeah. The cool thing about this camera is, like, I've got it set on manual at the moment, and I can just wheel a little dial, and I can make it lighter or darker, the picture. The only problem is everything's kind of backwards, so if I move it that way, it's the opposite way to what I'm actually moving it. When you look at, because I've got a computer screen in front of me. Well, obviously, so I can see what I just threw that. What you guys are saying, eh? Yeah, no, I'm really pleased with the camera setup. Probably spent on all the different bits and pieces. I probably spent about $1,200, I think. Okay, now we've got one guy here that has not even got his undercoat on. Yeah, that's the same thing. The Rebel is the same as this, I think. Yeah, it's an Elgato Camlink. It's probably, I think it cost about 150 New Zealand dollars. I got it here, and it just plugs straight into your USB slot. It needs to be a, what is it, a USB 3 slot on your computer, and then it plugs. I got an HDMI cable for the camera, because it's a smaller HDMI end to plug into your camera. I also bought a battery for the camera that plugs into the power supply, because otherwise you can only paint for an hour, and then you run out of power. So if I didn't have that plug-in battery, we'd only have like about 2 minutes left. But with that, I don't have to worry about it at all. And I had I think the camera had a lens that was an 18 to 55, but I couldn't get close enough in my shots. So you guys could see what I was actually doing. I mean, I must admit, if you're further away, you're not going to have as many problems with slipping out of the screenshot and things like that. But with the I think with the detail that I want to be painting, you might as well be able to see it, eh? So, and the other thing that I do is I use the autofocus to focus it in to start with, and then I turn the autofocus off and make it manual. And then it doesn't, when I'm going like that, it doesn't change. I'm trying to focus on it all the time. And if it does go out, then I just move my hand up and manually turn the focus ring. Right, so realistically, I only have a little bit of red little bit of red to do, I think. Excuse me while I just slide over here. And those guys are done. I love it when you get near the end. Yeah, so I got my lens, the other lens secondhand on a place in New Zealand called Trade Me. It cost me $300 for the other lens. It seemed to be the funny thing is it seemed to be the popular lens. Lots of other lenses were cheaper, but the 18 to 135 was quite a popular one, of course. It's always the one you want, is the popular one. What I got to be careful is because these are so much like straight French, I want to do certain things to the uniforms, and I think, oh, wait, these are Westphalian. And as I said earlier in the video, normally Westphalian have like a plume on their hat, but this guy had a excess of French artillery crew, so he's just got me to paint them up as if they were Westphalian. Excuse me. You have a 28 to 105 as well. Yeah, that might do it, eh? So I bought a tripod, and I have it. I'm sitting down, and the top of the camera on the tripod is at eye level. So it's not too high. So if I have it at the tripod at full height, I can't get a nice close-in shot. So yeah, the camera itself, the lens is extended out at full at the moment, and it's probably about at my what? Okay, so my red mix is this. Okay, first red is black red. So this is Villaggio colors, black red. Then I seem to be having problems dropping my miniatures today. The next one that I use is a Citadel color, and it is Evil Sunz Scarlet. Evil Sunz Scarlet, and you wouldn't think it's scarlet. It looks really red. Okay, and then I go back to Villaggio colors, and it is Scarlet color that I use as the next highlight. And then, believe it or not, I go back to Citadel, and I do a fourth layer. And on the fourth layer, it is Wild Rider Red. And that is almost, I mean, it's hard to tell on these figures. See if I can sharpen that up. Moving to the right place. Sharpen the other way. No, it's not gonna. I don't know if you can tell it's actually really quite a nice bright red. So yeah, black red is first, which is what I'm putting on at the moment. And then Evil Sunz Scarlet from Citadel, then Scarlet from Villaggio, then Wild Rider Red. And be sparing with the Wild Rider Red. It's almost like a orangey red, but man, does it make that difference. If you do actually put that last layer on, it's like far out. That was actually worthwhile doing. I used to only do the 3 layers, but when I decided to add that next one in, after I'd done it, I was like, I just couldn't add it in. I mean, not add it in after that. It's like it just made them pop. Right, so I'm going to move those guys away there because we're not doing anything on those. And we're going to go back to here. And I'm just going to start, rather than solid, we're just going to start dotting down there. I don't want to just paint. Oh look, it's all blurry. I don't want to paint straight over it. Each time I do it, I will dot over it, and which means that each time it will leave a little bit of the one below. Because some of these miniatures have this detail I'm painting in, and actually some of them don't. It's just that I want it on all the hats. I've actually just bought a, as I was saying earlier, a couple of new paints. I want to be able to do yellow better, so I'm going to do some tests on using some new colors to do my yellow. And when I get it right, I will let you guys know. And I'm also, even though I like the green that I do, I've bought some new green as well, and I want to try a different triad of greens to get a nice bright, like Napoleonic uniform green, maybe for the hussars, French hussars, or the rifles guys, stuff like that. I must admit, I also bought some new reds to try some different mixes as well. Even though I'm really happy with my red, it's always worth trying different mixes, because you know there's certain things you want red, and then you want to do another figure in red, but you don't want them to be exactly the same as the one you've just done. You want them to stand out. So I've got a couple of different reds I do at the moment. One is what colour? They're all Citadel colours. So you use is it Crone Red and Mephiston Red, and then the Evil Sunz Scarlet. That's like the last highlight on that, and that gives you like a darker red. Which is sometimes you want that when you're doing ancients. You don't want them all to have a really bright fire engine red. I suppose what I've got to decide with this part is I actually don't want this part of the hat to actually stand out too much. I've got another piece to paint in here. I'll have to have a look on my iPad and see what these guys have up in there. So I'm just wondering whether I actually skip a stage. After saying I use 4, I might skip a stage and just do 3. I've just put my finger in the paint. Don't you love that? Do. I think I need to buy a new one of that. Yeah, so you can see by dotting each thing, it just kind of breaks it up a bit. So that's kind of cool. That's all right. So if I get these all finished today, I can pack them all up and they'll be all gone by Monday. And then I'm going to focus. I think I'll focus on the Vikings that I started. And once the Greek light cavalry come, then I will be focusing on those, and then I can send the video off to Julian at Vitrix. See what he thinks. As I said, with the light cav, there's I couldn't find any pictures of them finished online. So I'm kind of hoping I can be one of the first to actually get some really good shots of them up on the net and YouTube. Yeah, the one paint that I'm using at the moment is a bit thick and pretty much at the end of its life, I think. You notice that I've got these glued to cardboard. I just find it really easy to turn. You hold on to it, it's not thick. A lot of people glue to bottle tops and bits and pieces, but I tried that. I thought, oh yeah, that looks cool. On the odd occasion, I kind of lose one. It kind of disappears, flies out of my hand. But I find it speeds up my my painting. So these guys are pretty much done. Yeah, quite happy with that actually. I enjoy painting Napoleonics. Napoleonic blue is one of my favorite colors to paint. Right, so I'm going to put those guys aside, take a quick sip of the coffee. Yes. Right, where am I going to put those? Over there. 10 seconds while I just kind of declutter my... Oh, just about lost something there. So how's your daughter's softball going, or baseball, whatever it's called over there? Is she winning? Right. So, sorry guys, but it's back to guns. Which I must admit, I must have 2 more barrels. Oh, there they are, over there. Right, so this time I'm going to take some Japanese uniform and some Russian uniform, and I'm going to mix it probably around about that much. And I've actually put it in a bad place. There's some brown beside there, and there's some grey on the other side. Try that, have that a stir. Where's my other brush? That one. I'm just wondering whether I might use that and actually put that there. Only problem with doing that is I think, let's have a look. Oh, no. Only one way to find out. A little bit of water. I was just a wee bit worried that I was going to be painting away and that brown would seep into what I was doing. Right. I'll get one of the other guns back so I've got a reference. And then we'll have a look and see how we go. Okay. I'm thinking that it needs a bit more Japanese in it. Oh, their practice has rained out. Dang. Yep. All right. Big hunk of paint from the top of the lid just decided, dried paint just decided to fall into my mix. So I just added a bit more Japanese yellow into this green. And we'll just see what that looks like. I mean, if this is the last highlight, so I kind of want it to be seen a bit. That's a bit better. Try to run this one down the edge. Doesn't have to be all the time, but some of these spokes. Right, I've just noticed I've actually missed a little bit, so we'll just have a spare blob of Russian uniform, just so I can tidy bits up like that. I can always come back and paint over those when it's dry. Like everyone, I miss bits too. So you're painting at the moment, Vic? You're sitting there painting? I must admit, when you're painting 8 guns, it does seem to take forever. Just glad I'm not a slow painter, otherwise it would be even longer. Oh, that's right. You were unboxing, weren't you? French Foreign Legion. That sounds like fun. Is that like French Foreign Legion? We've got camels. Modern day French Foreign Legion. We don't have camels. Coming in the wrong direction. I know. Right, so we look around. Now we there. Front's done. '19th century. Right, that's one done. Should put a wee knot in the wood there, shall we? So after this, I'll do the metal, and then I'm going to wash the metal with some nail oil just to dull it down a bit. Then we're done, because this doesn't involve any basing. This is just paint the figures. A slip there. Water span succession. Okay. We really are doing lots of different things. Only got 2 more guns to do, and wood grain's all finished. Let's put a little bit more water in there. How often do you break that rule where you're not supposed to use your good brush to put water in, but you still do? Working on figures for the Battle of El Marza. Sounds interesting. not too chatty at the moment because I'm trying to just working on making sure I get this all right. Detail. Concentrating, that's the word I'm after. So tomorrow I'm playing Wings of War here at home. Go to a local church here, and I've asked if some of the lads want to come around, and some of the young lads, only about what, 13, come around and have a game. But I missed all that in the first thing. So it should be fun. Funny, you watch people pop on and pop off again. The thing is, it's too cold here to do anything else. I might as well be in here doing this. All right. My feet are actually freezing sitting here. When I come back out after lunch, I'm going to have to stick the heater on. Either that or I'm going to have to toughen up. That's for sure. Yep. I'm playing Sales of Glory. I picked up the box set plus about, I don't know, about another 10 ships. And guys at the club said, oh, you know, bring it down, we'll teach you how to play. So I'm doing that Wednesday. So that should be interesting. Last time I went down, I played Bolt Action. Eked out a win. My American Paras. The only armor I've got for my American Paras is a Sherman. So I wasn't quite sure how I'd go, but I had two platoons that have 9 rifles in them, and 9 rifles can be quite deadly. Firing, especially with the Americans being able to move and shoot without a penalty. I haven't done a lot of reading of this second lot of rules, so I have to make sure that nothing's changed too much from when I first built the list. A fun set of rules, awesome. Well, I'm glad I bought it then. Well, actually, I didn't buy it. It was another trade. Me, the trade me king. I've actually bought very few figures of my own this year, just the odd one too. If I can trade them, I will, rather than buy them. Especially when you know, the traders, me painting, Because then for me it's just time, eh? Time and a little bit of paint. On a Saturday, my wife works all day, so I just get up at the same time she gets up, do all the housework, and then into it. Actually, lately I go to my parents' house and I do their cleaning because I'm not actually able to do that at the moment. Not my best of shape. Sadly. That's what happens when you get older. I'm not a very good one with rules. Give me a paintbrush and I can pretty much do anything. Give me a set of rules and I'm like, Dumbo. I just don't really click most of the time. The odd occasion they do. I suppose what it is I spend too much time on a paintbrush, not actually reading the rules. Give me figures to look at on the table. Now, that guy's annoying because he doesn't know what he's doing. It's another reason why I don't do competition gaming anymore, because nothing worse than a guy hopping on a table and saying this and that, and that's all complete rubbish. Hey, guess what? I forgot to paint that side with the second colour. Cool. I have, what days do I paint? Monday. Every second Wednesday now because I'm down the club on the other one. A little bit of Thursday. And Friday, probably mainly spend with the wife. Sometimes the Thursday too. Saturday I spend here. Sunday afternoon when the wife usually has to head down to work again, I come back out and do a little bit. So I pretty much pop out here anytime I can, I suppose. And every day before I go to work, I spend about 10-15 minutes out here first thing in the morning after I've dropped my wife off at work. It's amazing how much you can get done in that short amount of time. Right, let's put that over top of that. Not too worried about down here because the gun's going to be here, so a little bit I missed that. Where's my other metal colour? That one there, and that one there. I think I'll paint the metal on these other 4 guns. The first ones I painted in natural steel, but I'm just going to put that one to dry. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to do these other ones in natural steel. But maybe not that pot, unless I can scrape it out of the bottom, because it's pretty much empty. It's amazing what you can scrape out of a pretty much empty pot of paint. You're the kind of person I like, eh? One that doesn't get too bothered about ones like me. As long as the ones like me actually do make an effort. I've got a video ready to go. It's going to be going up after I finish this, because I want to do it. I want to be inside, because it's my iPad, because it's Wi-Fi, and that's how I've done my YouTube thing. That has what's on the painting table, so painting desk or whatever. So I'll put that up after I've done this, when I go for lunch. About time I put another one up. So that would just show all the different things that I'm working on and trying to get finished. In some cases, slightly unsuccessfully. Probably working on just a few too many things at once. But that's all right, we'll get there. I'm pretty lucky, because most of the guys that I'm just working stuff for at the moment aren't in a super hurry. And I think I, in general, paint fast enough that they're not too, they're just not worried about it. They know they'll get it. As I said, this stuff came in last week, and I'll be going out Monday. It's not easy wants to come and pick it up. It is. I'm hoping, Chris, that when you hop on, you'll be thinking, hey, I need to swap you some of my Russians. Right, so I'm just going to do the center part at the moment. I'll leave the outside wheels to a little bit later. Actually, that's dry enough to do the last coat of the wood grain. So we'll get that done. I think it's that side there. Doing really well. Looking at it again, mate. It is this one, isn't it? Definitely is. Okay, just about there, which is good because that's starting to thicken up a bit. It makes it harder to do the final lines. And right, what's the time? It's actually time for me to go and have some lunch. So I'm actually going to stop there, Victor, and you've got to go as well. Great timing. So we'll catch you next time, and enjoy your week, enjoy your painting, and I'll enjoy mine. See you later. Bye. Time to start.